I'm in Barcelona today, or to be precise, I'm actually south of Barcelona in a place called Sitges. Not here on holiday, although I have been here before actually on holiday. Sitges, lovely part of the world. A friend of mine's got a place here. We came here a couple of years ago as a family. Anyway, this particular trip, the next couple of days, is purely business. But as I have always used to do, those of you who are with me from my earlier videos at the start of this Formula One season, when I started this channel, you know, I normally do a little hotel room tour when I arrive somewhere. And I've got a particularly good one this time. Look, check this out. Hang on, where do we start? Quick bathroom and shower in there. Lovely. Look, nice little lounge area here. Leading out towards a lovely balcony. Look at that, awesome, huh? But that's not enough. I mean, who can possibly get away with just one balcony in their holiday apartment? Not me. This is the, this is the main bedroom. Oh, bathroom, another bathroom, because equally one bathroom is clearly not enough either. But look at this, look, bedroom as well, with, yes, another balcony. Pretty awesome, huh? Now I've got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, until I need to actually go and do any work. So I think I'm going to head down there to the beach. Well, that was slightly awkward. I just walked down onto that beach to go and watch the surfers, and I thought maybe I'll get some footage of the surfers just in the bay there, and then quickly realised I was surrounded by quite a few ageing but completely naked men. There you go, so that's a nudist beach. Learn something every day. When I was a kid, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and consequently, as a family, we rarely ever went on holiday. I can think of maybe 2 occasions when I was a kid growing up that I actually left the UK and went abroad on a family holiday anywhere. And even within the UK, we kind of hardly went anywhere. We went to stay with grandparents, but we never really went on a holiday. We never explored. And one of the things that I know that I'm incredibly lucky in later life to be able to do through my work is explore the world, and I've done that, you know, to quite a great extent. A lot of it, particularly through Formula One, you know, I've been to loads of countries many, many times, but not had too much opportunity to actually see them. I cannot exaggerate, for me, the importance of exploring, you know, the world. And I don't just mean getting on an aeroplane and travelling to far-flung places, which I love doing, it's amazing. But when I was a kid, when I kind of a teenager, when I first got a little bit of freedom and we got to be able to have cars and we got to leave home without our parents, a group of mates and myself went through a period of time where every weekend or every free weekend we would just buy a random train ticket to a random place in the UK and go and explore that town for the day. And it, you know, back then train travel wasn't anywhere near as much. And we had student rail cards and that kind of thing, and you could do it, and it just meant that we got to see a little bit more of the place that we lived in, i.e. the UK. I honestly think that too many people have their eyes kind of blinkered towards where they live or what they do on a daily basis with their job, where their family live or where they're from. There is so much out there, and the reason I think it's such a good idea to go and see it all is not only because it's amazing, it is an adventure every time I leave my front door and go somewhere new, but most importantly, there's so much to learn. Every time you come somewhere, you learn something new. I mean, alright, I've just learned that there's a bunch of old fat naked guys down on that beach down there, so I probably won't go back to that particular part of Sitges here in Spain. But there's so much to learn about different people, about the way that different people live their lives, about different places. I just think it's so important, and it doesn't always have to involve spending a lot of money. It can just be about going somewhere different on a particular day and not just passing through it, but stopping to have a little look around, meet the people who live and work there, and just get a bit of a broader picture, a little bit bigger picture than outside of your own tiny little world that we all tend to live in. Now, given that I'm a seasoned traveller these days, you'd think I'd have packing my bag down to an absolute T, but there are 3 things that I've come away with on this trip stupidly without, and I'm a bit gutted. One is my running kit, because I love running near water, and to run along the coast is just one of the best experiences and a great way to see the city. And likewise, my skateboard. It's very rare that I ever leave home without my electric skateboard these days, but I was on a hand luggage only flight and I just simply didn't have room to pack it all into the bag, so I've left that behind as well. Also a great way to get around and explore. And thirdly, why didn't I bring my swimming shorts? I always tell everybody, I tell my kids now, the first thing you should always put in your suitcase is your swimming trunks, and I didn't bring any. Idiot. Well, that was lovely. I've just been for an awesome Spanish lunch, paella, down on the beach. And in that hour and a half that it took me, and it was simply an hour and a half between leaving this hotel room and getting back to it now, and it would have been very easy for me to spend that hour and a half just sat in there on the bed, just reading or flicking through my phone. But I didn't. I left the hotel room, I walked down along the beach, and in that hour and a half, I've watched surfers surfing out in the bay. I have been surrounded by naked men. I've walked along the bay watching street performers. I threw an American football back to a bunch of school kids on a trip down on the beach. I have seen, seagulls taking people's dinner from the restaurant next door to the one I was in. I've exchanged foreign money for goods and services. I've had interaction in terrible, broken Spanish. All tiny, tiny little things. I mean, nothing really. Tiny little details. I've seen some of the locals here shutting up shop in their houses ready for siesta. I've seen others having their siesta on the beach. I watched some Spanish workmen digging a hole in the street with absolutely zero regard for health and safety, or the kind of health and safety that I'm used to back at home. Tiny, tiny little details, but all of those details to me are really important because they go into building an experience. And experiences are what make our lives richer, more varied, and hopefully a bit more interesting than they would have otherwise been if I had just stayed in there for an hour and a half. Anyway, tiny little part of my day there that you've just experienced with me, but to me it was a really important part. Get out and explore the world, even if it's just your immediate surroundings. Don't walk past them every day with your phone in front of you and your eyes buried down into it. Look up, look around, chat to people, meet people, gather yourself some experiences. Right, I've literally got 10 minutes to have a shower, get changed into my suit and downstairs to this meeting that I've got to go to. So I've got to go, but I'm really pleased I did that. See you tomorrow.